Well, hello. I guess I'll just sit here and talk to myself. Could keep working on what I'm working on in case anybody does or doesn't come in. Well, we got a like. Okay. Well, hello there. Welcome to my channel. Jackie here. How are y'all doing today? Anybody gonna speak to me? And let me shut the door. Just a little bit. Well, hello there, Steph. How you doing today? Orville out there working on that radiator for that truck yet? Yes, no? Well, there's the baby dog come in. There's the baby dog. Who knows, what he's doing. I understand that. Well, what do y'all think about these nails today? Aren't those just awesome? Awesome. Gotta love Dollar Tree nails. They're just the bomb diggity. The bomb diggity. Well, I just might as well get a cigarette. See if so what's up with y'all today? I've been working on a traveler's notebook, and it's kind of weird. These are the 3 little inserts. They're all just the same. They're black and white. And then the cover is going to be black and white. Of course, I have to laminate that and everything. But nothing much. The reason it's black and white is because the person it's for is colorblind. So it wouldn't do me any good to try to match colors or anything anyway. So I thought, well, since they're colorblind, we'll just give them a black and white. Other than that, I haven't really been doing anything too much. I got some new dies, and I've been working on them, to make my die cuts for cards and stuff. And I'm doing a embellishment box swap, and it's hosted by Pam's Life. She's a crafter, and she does hauls and stuff, and she's here on YouTube. And this is not the box. This is the kind of box I'll send, but this is not the box of embellishments. This is just some of my embellishments. But that's the size of box you send, and you put like embellishments, die cuts, washi tapes, things like that, stickers in there, and then you're given the name and address of someone to send to, and then they make one and they send it back to you. And that's a kind of neat way to share, your goodies and see what everybody else has. So I've been making little paper bows. Let me see. This is something I've been working on. I got the die cut. You can't hardly see it because of the paper, but it's dimensional, and it's a die cut. And this is just a little notepad cover for sticky notes. Isn't that just so cute? And then here's another one I did. Hi, Lori. How are you today? And this is another one I did, and it's got the butterfly cut out. That shows a little better, the die cut there, and I just popped it up on a little foam dot. And again, just a little sticky note cover. And, kind of dresses up your desk or at work or, your desk at home, whatever. Just a little creation. So I got the die cut to make the little bows. Like I said, you can't really see them. There you can a little bit. That's weird. It's in 4 pieces when you die cut it out, and then you have to assemble it. But I think they're cute. And I've been working on that and working on, like I said, setting up stuff for an embellishment box. Setting up stuff for the embellishment box to do a swap with on Pam's Life. Well, thank you. I was saying that's Dollar Tree. Gotta love Dollar Tree. So easy, so quick, and when you get tired of them, you change them, and you don't have to I used to wear acrylic nails all the time, but it's $30 the first time you get them done, and it's 20 to 25 for a fill-in every 2 weeks. I don't go through 5 sets of Dollar Tree nails a month. So I save a lot of money, and then I can pick what I want. With acrylic, you're stuck with whatever you've got for at least 2 weeks till you go back for a fill-in. This way I can change to suit my outfit or whatever if I want to. I'm going to tell some more little stories about my life. And I'm trying to think where I want to start. I got a book here with some stuff written down that I knew I wanted to talk about. Please forgive me for not being prepared. I should have had this out earlier so I'd be ready. Oh, I was telling stories, the last couple times about my dad. And I make it seem like he was a saint, but he wasn't. He was from that era, and there was definitive roles for women and men. Like I said, my mom didn't work till I was like 12 or 13. And my dad, partied hard, but he worked hard. He didn't go out to clubs or bars or anything. He bought liquor and brought it home, and he did his drinking at home. So there was always... Aw, that's so sweet of you to say hi to Steph. Steph, this is Lori, as you can see by her name. And I should have introduced y'all. I apologize. I'm still don't have the hang totally of this live stream and stuff. But my dad, he did his drinking at home. He wasn't out in clubs. He always, he did his job. His opinion, his belief was he didn't care how much you drank, how drunk you got. You did not miss work the next day. You got up and you went to work. And that's one thing he instilled in all of his children, about getting up and going to work no matter what. Now, I'm not saying he drank every day, because he didn't. He did hit the majority of his drinking on the weekend when he was off. But anyways, I've been telling stories about him. I'm going to tell you one thing my dad used to do. He used to love... Hi there, Simply Coastal. How are you? Welcome to my channel. Or to my live stream. Anyways, my dad used to, he used to like to sneak up behind you and kick you in the ass, He thought that was always just so funny to do, especially to his kids. He didn't do it to adults, just to his kids. One time he was doing that to my brother. Hi, Reed family. Glad you showed up. Nice to see you. And my dad was tiptoeing up behind my brother, Max, and he was going to kick, lift his foot up and kick him in the ass, and he lost his balance and he fell flat on his back, busted his ass. Oh, we laughed and laughed, and boy, did we get into some trouble for laughing at my dad. He didn't like that, not at all. No. And I haven't said a whole lot about my mom, told a lot about my mom, but she was pretty much like my dad, Now, when they got married, my mom didn't smoke. She didn't drink, anything like that. And my dad was 19 and my mom was 17. And my dad was in the Air Force. And he met my mom when he came home. It was at a Sunday. I'm just great, Reed family. I'm just telling some little stories from my childhood. And my parents met at a Sunday social when my dad was home from on furlough from the Air Force. Well, they got married before he went back, and she went with him, and so she was a very young bride away from home, They, to begin with, I don't know where they were stationed at to begin with, but at the time of this story, they were stationed in Utah. And my dad, pretty much made my mom smoke, and got her into drinking, and... Hi, Spirit the Sky Blue. Thank you for stopping by. So my dad got my mom. No, I wasn't. No. I don't think I was. I watch a lot of live streams and I comment, but I don't remember being on Deborah's yesterday, so I don't know. Anyways, I was... Okay, we were living out in a suburb of Chicago. I was like 18 and a half. My parents had bought a like a little mini farm, you know. It was a house and it had a barn and a couple outbuildings and 5 acres, you know, out in the middle of nowhere. And we got, when I'm going live, I don't think I'm going live unless you're not talking to me. And if you're not, I apologize. I don't mean to be stupid and interrupt. Anyways, we lived out there, and you know, in the winter it's snow, and you get all kinds of snow. And two stories about that place. My dad had bought a snowmobile, you know, for the kids, my two younger brothers, and then me and my two sisters, you know, whoever, to ride there on the 5 acres and have fun with. Well, one time my dad couldn't get to work. You're talking to me. I don't know that I'm going on Deborah's Family Life. I haven't been asked to be on it, so, you know, that's all I can tell you. Anyways, my dad he had been at work and he couldn't get all the way home because the roads were so bad. He was stuck like 10 miles away. So my one brother, the one youngest to me, he would have been like 16 at the time. He zipped on the snowmobile and he rode that snowmobile 10 miles and picked my dad up from work and brought him back home, you know. And then, of course, you know, when the snow finally melted, my mom was able to drive my dad back to his truck. But another story about the snowmobiles. Okay, I'm sorry. Like I said, I didn't mean to be stupid. I just really didn't understand what you were talking about. The my sister Bonnie, the one who's closest to me, she had a son, her oldest son Jackson. He was only 2 years old. And my two brothers were riding a snowmobile. And like I said, they were like 16 and 13 at the time. And they didn't want to share, and it pissed my dad off. He said, you put that boy on that snowmobile, talking about my nephew Jackson being 2 years old. You put him on that snowmobile and you let him ride that. Well, a 2-year-old doesn't know what to do. He ended up running the snowmobile up the side of the tree. It was the funniest thing. I mean, it didn't hurt the snowmobile, and with all the snow, it didn't hurt my nephew or anything. But it was just so funny. My brothers were so pissed because they were taking him on rides, and he didn't want that anymore. He wanted to do it himself. Okay, hurry back, Reed fam. See you next. So they were pissed because, you know, they were having all the fun, and then he rode it up the tree, and my dad was like, okay, that's it for the day, you know. But just another one of them little stories. I got to tell you now, and I know I'm just rambling on, but I've got so many stories about my family, and I'm just trying to, like I said, I do this not only maybe as entertainment for y'all, but as to preserve them for like my nieces and nephews and great nieces and nephews, that they can come back and look at these and see these memories or hear these memories. My dad's sister's name was Jean, and her initials were J.R. from her married name, and so that's what everybody called her, was J.R. And J.R. was the coolest old broad you had ever met. I mean, her and I, like from the time I was like 17 on, her and I were like the best of friends. I remember one Halloween. Now you have to understand where I lived at, the suburb of Chicago I lived at. It'd have a bar on every corner, and there'd probably be one in the middle of the block on each side of the street. So on a one block thing, you might have 6 bars, you know. So you never had to worry about, you know, getting arrested for drunk driving, because you could walk any place you want to go. Well, one year it was Halloween, and you know, all the bars are having their big contest, you know, best costume or whatever. My aunt dressed up as a wicked old witch. I mean, she was an ugly wicked old witch. And I dressed up as Death. I had a long flowing like black over thing with the big cowl hood that came down, and I painted my face like a skeleton. And then I had a big staff that I carried. So I was Death. And we would go from bar to bar. And sometimes she'd win a contest. Sometimes I'd win a contest. Sometimes we wouldn't, neither one of us would win. But whoever won would always buy the bar, a round of drinks. So, I mean, we were making money, drinking for free, and having a good old time. Well, we decided it was time to head home. And so we're walking because it's just like a block and a half to where she lived. And we're walking home. And there's still a few houses that had their porch lights on. And if they had their porch light on, we'd go knock on their door and we'd trick or treat. But if they didn't have any candy, we'd give them some of ours and we'd go on our way. And the next house we came to, they might have candy and they'd give us some. And if not, we'd give them some of our candy. We saw I'm going to say 13, 14, 15-year-olds out on the street and everything. And they'd come up to us because, we were in costume. And we'd ask them if they wanted some candy. And we were just handing our candy out. I mean, who does that? Who does that? Who goes trick-or-treating? Adults dressed in costume after you've been drinking. And if they got candy, you take it. And if they don't, you give it back to them. I mean, we were just crazy as hell. My aunt was a very pivotal part of our growing up. She was divorced, and her two children and her were always at our house on the weekends. And on a weekend, like if she didn't come to our house, we would go to her house. And she had a fireplace, and we didn't at our house, but she did. And it was the best thing in the whole world. We just used to love. She'd build a big old roaring fire, and it'd be snowing and cold as hell outside, and we'd enjoy it. She'd run out of firewood. She said, my two brothers and her son, who was about the same age as my youngest brother, and they'd go out in the snow with their little red wagon, and they'd go around down and up and down the alleys through in the neighborhood, our block, the next block, whatever. And they'd find firewood, and they'd load that wagon up. They'd steal that firewood. They'd load the wagon up, and they'd bring it home. And here they come trucking with all the firewood, and then we would build the fire back up again. It was just, I remember the Christmas that JR's son, he was like 2 or 3 years old. And my mom and dad asked him what he wanted for Christmas. He said he wanted a choo-choo train and a good-looking broad. So they got him a toy train and a Barbie doll. And you could have never seen a kid be so happy with his choo-choo train and a good-looking broad. Oh, okay, and I was telling you about when we lived out in the suburbs. I got a little sidetracked here. My mother had this cat. It was a black cat. And my dad named this cat. Because my mother did not come up with this name. And he named the cat General Custer. Don't ask me why. Oh, I hope everything's okay. Let us know that everything's all right, Reed family. You take care. So, my mom just loved this cat, and my dad hated it. My brothers hated it. I liked the cat. It was fine. It didn't bother me, But my mother loved that cat. And the cat got out, and it was missing. And my mom accused my dad of doing something to the cat. No. Accused my brothers of doing something with the cat, and they said no. Finally, come spring, they were able to get out, and there was an old well on the property, and the snow and everything had melted, and there was no more mud and everything. And you could go, and you could see her cat laying in the well. It had got fallen in, and had froze to death. And that was sad, but it was just hysterical the way my mother was doing with that cat. Chasing everybody and asking them, where's my cat? What'd you do with my cat? Oh my God, I am so sorry about that. I just went through my brother having to have open heart surgery about a month and a half ago, and that's scary. That's scary. My prayers for your sister, hon. Please keep her in. I'll keep her in my prayers. My mom she loved that cat. Oh my God, that cat could do no wrong. I remember the first time she tried to give that cat a bath, and the cat just clawed her to pieces, That's fine, deep in the woods. You just do what you got to do. I'm just meandering on, talking about nothing important. My mom, she tried to give that black cat a bath, and the cat didn't like it, and cat let her know about it. She walked away with that from scratches and stuff. And so she, after that, she knew that, she'd wrap it up in a towel. Well, hello there, KC Detox Diva. Welcome. Yes, I hope you're having a great afternoon. I'm just meandering on, telling stories from my childhood. Nothing important, nothing earth-shattering, no drama, because I'm not a drama channel. Well, anyways, my mom loved this cat. She'd do anything for this cat. This cat got in the garbage. And you know how when you used to buy a bologna, it had that red ring, like rind around it? Well, somebody had put a bologna rind in the garbage, and the cat got that out and ate it. And it was like a couple days later or something. The cat was just hysterical. My mom's freaking because something's wrong with her cat. So she sees something hanging out the tail, out her butt, She went and she grabbed that and she pulled that bologna rind out of that cat's butt. Oh my God. You had to have been there. I mean, there was funny things in my family, and of course there, were things that were not so funny, but nobody likes to talk about the bad things, just the good things. And I remember, here's another little story, and again, I just segue from part to part, nothing matches up. It's not like a continuous flow or a timeline or anything. It's just as things strike me. When my mother's mother, a piece of red bologna rind. Bologna used to have a red rind around it, a skin, and you'd pull that off to make your bologna sandwich or whatever. And it got thrown away in the garbage, and the cat ate it. And then the cat had trouble passing it. My mom pulled it out. Anyways, my mom's mother, my maternal grandmother, she passed away. Oh yeah, she passed away in 78. I was 19 at the time, because I'm pretty damn old, y'all. And I had just got a new car. Well, my mom's, like I said, my grandma passed away, my mom's mom. So me, my sister Bonnie, my mother, and Bonnie's oldest son, the 2-year-old who had ran the snowmobile up the tree, we hopped in my car and we headed from Chicago down to Tennessee, for the funeral and everything. Well, my dad, we left on a Thursday, and my dad couldn't come because she only has an hour to live. Oh my God, that's not good. I am so, so sorry. Loss of family is just so hard to deal with. I don't know what to say. Please know you're in my prayers and my thoughts, and please keep us informed of how everything goes, okay? Don't mean to be somber here or anything, but that's hard. So anyways, my mom, my sister, me, and her oldest son came down. We drove down on a Thursday, and the funeral wasn't going to be till a Sunday. And my dad was maintenance foreman where he worked. And so, like, if they had to work Saturdays, he had to go in and lock and unlock. So him and my 2 brothers didn't get to leave till like Saturday night, headed down there, knowing that the funeral was on Sunday. And they ran into some bad weather, and they had to pull over on the side of the road under a viaduct because it was raining so hard they couldn't see. And they were sitting there, and they sat there for like an hour, and it was just not letting up in it or anything. And my dad told my brothers, he says, I don't care what happens, we got to go. Your mom will kill me if I don't make it there, you know. So they did make it. They made it there, I mean, like maybe half an hour before the funeral started, but they made it. So then on Monday, we got ready to leave. And my two brothers had rode down with my dad in his pickup. He had a club cab. So on the way home, my mom rode with them, and it was just my sister and me and her little boy in my car. Now, this is back in the time when CBs were really popular, and everybody talked on one. Well, my dad's CB went out. It had gone out on the trip down there. And so I asked him, I said, Dad, you want to take my CB and put it in your truck, and you know, you go first and I'll follow you, you know, no problem. And my dad said, no, there ain't no need for that. When I get home, I'll buy a new one. There ain't no need to switch them around. He said, just you lead the way. He says, you know where you're going. And he says, you know, you'll hear about traffic, and then I'll know by what you're doing. So I said, okay. So it's Monday afternoon. We're coming through Indiana. 6 hours of nothing but cornfields on either side, you know. Nothing to do, just driving down the interstate. Well, my sister and I were talking trash on the CB radio with truckers. I mean, we were talking some trash. And I had all the I mean, everybody. I mean, we're just back and forth. There's like 6 or 8 of them, you know, that we were running down the interstate with. And finally, one of them said, and they called my, oh, I promise you, you've got my prayers, Reed family. You've got my prayers. And we're running, definitely for her and for you also, I promise you. We're running down the road, and my dad's following us, and finally one of the truckers said, hey, called my CB handle, and said, do you know that there's a blue pickup back there? It's following you. Every time you change lanes or speed up or slow down or whatever, they're kind of doing the same thing you are. And I wasn't thinking anything about it, and I just popped back, oh yeah, that's my dad. Dead silence on the air. Not a word. These truckers are thinking of the things that they've been saying. But understand, I'm saying it too. And they're thinking of the things they're saying. And like I said, it was just deadly quiet. And then I thought about it for a minute and said, oh, but don't worry. He don't have his ears on. And which meant, you know, he didn't have his radio turned on. And it's like you could hear a big collective sigh of relief over the airways. And everybody then, you know, started chattering it again, you know, but it was so funny. I said, oh, yeah, that's just my dad. And the airwaves went totally dead, totally dead. It's just, you know, one of them little strange things you remember from growing up. Yes, definitely for her and for you. Keep saying I have a bad connection. I don't know why. I don't understand, but it is what it is. If I do it on my laptop, I get a bad connection. If I do it on my phone, I get a bad connection. I don't know. I don't understand. But let's see what else I can think about to talk about. Because when I was a little girl, my grandpa on my dad's side, he had nicknames for everybody. He called me Yacky Bird because I'd never shut up. And it's pretty much the way I still am. I don't ever shut up. It's just like constant go, 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 talk. So I'll just rattle on about meaningless things, won't be worth anything, nothing important. Oh my God, Reed family, I am just so sorry. I wish there was something I could do, hon. All I can do is pray for the both of you. That's all I can do. Everybody, you see Toodles up here in my lap. There's my little baby, my Toodles. She sits right here in my lap with me. If I'm in the bed, she's laying in the bed with me. If I'm in a chair, she's sitting next to me. She's my baby girl, and she's with me all the time. But anyways, yeah, like I was saying, I'm making this in black and white because the person is colorblind. So it doesn't matter what the colors are. I'm just at a loss of words, Reed family. I feel like out of respect for you and your sister that I just need to stop live streaming, you know? It just feels like what I need to do. I need to stop live streaming out of respect for her and for you. So everybody, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get off of here so I can, pray uninterrupted for Reed family and his sister. I'm sorry this was such a short live stream. I'm going to be trying. I said this Monday and I didn't do too well Tuesday or Wednesday. Oh my God, honey, I don't know what to say. I am so sorry. It sounds so trite, but she's not hurting anymore. She's in a better place. Okay, guys, I'm going to get off of here so I can do some praying. And I'll try to be back tomorrow at noon Central Standard Time. Y'all have a good day now. Bye.